Hey guys, what is going on? Alex here from Oaks Gaming, and I'm coming back to you guys with another Paragon deck building guide. And for you guys today, I'm going to be showing you my Kallari build. Kallari right now is probably one of those heroes that not a lot of people are playing, and you see a lot of draft dodges because of her. I think she's a really good hero. I just think a lot of the issues that people are having with her is that she's not great in team fights. She's good at chasing down kills and singling out people one on one, but as far as team fights, she's not a very viable option. However, I think she is still a really good hero, and I think she is still viable in gameplay. You just need to have a smart team that aren't getting into fights that they shouldn't be, because you're not going to be able to change a fight super drastically as her because of how squishy she is. So before I go into the build with you guys, I'm going to go over her abilities and why I'm building this deck the way that I am. So first off is her basic attack. Just like everyone else, it does 52 damage, which is pretty decent. She attacks pretty fast to begin with, which is good. And this is going to go hand in hand with your Shadow Walk. And after you activate this, you're going to go invisible and gain 45 max movement speed for 8 seconds or until you use an offensive ability. And the big thing about this is when you land that slash coming out of your Shadow Walk, you deal 250% basic damage, which is a huge deal. That's basically like a huge crit for sure, as long as you hit that. So these go hand in hand together, and I'm going to go over why I'm building the build the way I am. And then you have your backflip, which is your R1, and you can flip up to 2 times. This is good pretty much for getting out of shitty situations. You can chase down with this, but you're pretty much just going up in the air, so you might as well just use your Shadow Walk to chase people down because you get that extra max movement speed. And then your last ability is your Death Sentence, which you can teleport to any hero on the map wherever they are. And this is basically good for getting into a team fight if you feel like you can go over there and make a difference, or it's good just for chasing people down that are almost dead. It's basically like a Murdoch laser, just not as much damage, but you know you're going to hit them, so that's nice. And I'll get into the build for you guys. It is my Kallari Silent Assassin build. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I build this, guys, and why I build it this way. So first off, I start off with a Stalker Siphon. And the reason I do this is because you have life steal, attack speed, and health back on hit, which is really important for her jungling because she doesn't have as much health and she doesn't have as good of jungle clear as most other junglers. So you want that sustain early on. And I'll just fill that out with 3 1-point minor kinetics, and then I will grab my Sage's Siphon so I can get some more damage, a little bit extra health, and even more health back on hit. And the reason we're going to grab that is because after we max both of these out, I put 3 1-point minor strikes in this, by the way. Once we max both of these out, you're going to want to eventually toss your Stalker Siphon and come down and grab your Thunder Cleaver, which I fill with 3 1-point minor kinetics. And the reason for this is because it's going to help Kallari clean that jungle out a lot faster and help her get fed up a lot faster, which is a huge deal when you're playing her, because if you're not ahead in card points, you're pretty much going to get tore up. So you want to be able to take out those jungle camps as fast as you can, and Thunder Cleaver is going to be really important for that. And also another reason I feel like you have to have Thunder Cleaver on her is because if you're tending a lane for someone, you're going to have a really hard time clearing those waves coming into the tower if you don't have this, because this is going to give you that extra cleave damage, so you're going to be doing a lot more damage to multiple targets, and you have your active on it, which deals instant basic damage to nearby units. And this is going to come in handy because we're building a crap ton of damage in this build. No crit. So after you do that, you're going to want to grab this 6-point wing carver. This is just for damage early on. This wing carver and your 2 siphons are eventually going to be tossed away. And then after that, you'll probably want to grab your assassin's wards, because the other team is going to be warding up pretty heavily to deal with you, so they can catch you so you can't get away. So it's nice to have these out so you can de-ward. You don't have to technically fill this with lifesteal. You can go with more damage if you feel like you're not doing enough damage yet. But I do put a 3-2-1 drain in this, so you end up with 17.5 lifesteal, I believe. Yes, 17.5 lifesteal, which is pretty decent. And then we get into the big boys here. So we have one 7-point void steel, and that's just because we wanted to fill this thunder cleaver out just to fill it out. We don't want a crap ton of attack speed in here, so the more points we can put towards damage, the better. So I have one oddball void steel dagger here with a 2-strike and 2 1-point minor strikes, and then I have 3 void steel daggers with major strikes. And the reason I'm doing this is because I told you about that shadow walk and how you get that extra 250% basic damage bonus when you come out of your shadow walk and hit a slash. So the more straight up damage you build, the more damage that strike coming out of your shadow walk is going to do. Now, I'm not saying that crit Kallari doesn't work. I mean, you're going to be hitting hard more constantly with her. But if you just build straight damage, you're going to do just as much damage on that slash coming out of your shadow walk than you would with a crit. And also, the more you build up that damage, the more damage your dagger is going to do, which I actually didn't go over with you guys. I guess I got too excited to come into the build. But the dagger is basically just a slow and kind of a long range option to kill people. So the more damage you build, the more damage your dagger is going to do, the more damage your slash coming out of your shadow walk is going to do, and the more damage your ult is going to do, because you're just building damage, so it's just going to keep upping the damage of your abilities. So at the end of this, you're going to end up with your 8-point thunder cleaver with 3 1-point minor kinetics. You're going to have 3 of these void steel daggers with 3 3-point major strikes. You're going to have 1 oddball 7-point void steel dagger with a 2-point strike and 2 1-point strikes. And then you're going to have your assassin's ward with a 3-2-1 drain. And I also have 3 strike tokens in here just in case I have some extra points kicking around and I want to spend them on something. And I go with the Arch Magus on her. I haven't done any gameplay on her for you guys yet. I did post a photo to Twitter the other day on a match that I did have with her where I went 17-4 and we ended up losing. I wish I had recorded that match so I could have put it on for you guys, but I wasn't recording at the time. So hopefully I get a chance to do some gameplay with her for you guys in the future, but it's kind of hard because not a lot of people like playing with Kallari. That's basically kind of how it's been since she got nerfed way back in Legacy. Because I remember she used to be a really viable option in Legacy, but after a certain point people would just talking crap about her and always draft dodging because they were like, oh, we're just gonna lose. But I kind of want to see her come back into this game because she's a really cool hero, and if she's done right, I think she can be really effective. So hopefully I get a chance to do some gameplay for you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this build. If you're new to my channel and you want to see more Paragon content, please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the support, guys. And for you subscribers who keep coming back, as always, guys, I really appreciate your support. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.